You're thinking, well, you had the inspector here. If he didn't say anything about it, it must be all right.
This house should have burnt down years ago.
You expect him to see things and tell you, or at least write them in the report, you know, this looks odd, this is wrong, this isn't per code.
Raw sewage, everybody wants to throw up.
According to him, it's a solid house with good bones.
I am absolutely disgusted with this home inspector.
The inspector never caught any of it, so we were oblivious to it.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it's Carpenter ants.
I like the area, I like the house, I just don't like all the problems.
I have so had it with this house. Oh, yeah, baby. Mike Holmes. On the money. I've decided now to gut it. Take it all down.
My contract love.
Me too. Unacceptable. God, I love my job. It's something I always say to people. If you're gonna buy a home, I don't care if it's brand new, used, get a home inspector. Have it inspected. Make sure that there's no problems with the home.
During the process of buying a house, we demanded an inspection because that was one of the biggest requirements, that everything be in working order when we bought it, and we thought the home inspection would do that for us.
Now understand, what they're looking at are things that we need to know about our home. Electrical, structural, plumbing, HVAC. Spring is in the air. The question is, how qualified should you be to be a home inspector? Good morning.
How are you?
Eeyore, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Chris?
Hi, Mike.
You prefer Chris or Christine?
Chris is good.
Chris is good. I like that.
Yeah.
It was clean, it was a nice area, the house looked good. Inspector didn't see anything out of the ordinary.
We thought, wow, the guy really, you know, this is a great house. Nothing was really wrong with it, right?
I think the problems we have here is home inspection.
Absolutely.
Okay, maybe you noticed anything upstairs, or are we just talking downstairs at this point?
We're talking, yeah, downstairs.
Downstairs. Let's go take a look.
Great.
All right, you've been here 6 months. Any issues you've noticed? Anything that is standing out that makes you concerned?
Well, after about a minute of showering, you're standing in an ankle deep in water.
Bathing in the shower. That works.
Yes.
Let's take a look at it. Do we have a workable light in here?
Nope.
We don't know the story with the light. The light has no switch, and it's never worked.
Well, this is not how we do a floor drain. I'll tell you that right now. That's 1.25 inches for one. That is no good. And I see water full in it, so obviously you have an issue with your plumbing. Is this the report?
Yes. First of all, you're not a professional home person, so you walk around with him, or you did, and you expect him to see things.
Did he tell you anything about plumbing? About the bathroom? What did he say about plumbing?
The only thing he said was that it was interesting, and I asked him if it was fine, and he said it's fine.
It's fine.
You can't see everything, plus you're not a professional to see those things so quickly.
Or know what to check.
And what to check, right? So you know, you walk around, and then it's only afterward you come in and you start using things, and then things don't work.
Venting. Functional drainage noted throughout the home at the time of inspection. Like, what does that tell you? All right, let's take a look at this then. We see, obviously, they raised the shower floor to do the plumbing from the bottom, brought it up, so it almost appears that it's almost high here, and that might be an issue right there. Brought along the back of the washer and dryer.
When you wash clothes, they don't rinse.
And the laundry sink beside the washer fills
up with water.
And they tried to vent off of this line, which tells me there's no vent there. They've come up off of here, run it through a separate line for the washing machine.
And at first you think, oh, the washing machine is no good, even though it's supposed to be brand new. But it's not the washing machine. It's the plumbing around it.
This is the sink. No signs of venting. Carried off, toilet running through, clean out. Total improper venting. Not to mention, we don't want to see the plumbing like this. It should be actually cut through the floor. This is not how we tie things in, especially. Do you smell anything down here?
The sewer gases that we smell down there are scary, disgusting.
It stinks. There's something wrong. The shower doesn't drain. Well, there's things wrong with it. It's not even close to right. It's against code. And you know me, minimum code sucks. This is an issue. Your plumbing is an issue. This was not explained to you?
No, that was my major, and then we have a major number 2.
Okay, we've had some people in your house playing around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 junction points right here.
Why do we hire people? To give us advice, to give us the things that we need to do in life so that we don't have problems.
Look at this. You were told right out that everything was fine. Electrical was fine, plumbing was fine, not an issue, that it wouldn't cost money to fix. Let me guess.
Absolutely, that's exactly what was told to us.
We have a lot of signs of rust. Was anything in there at all to do with your heating?
Not at all. He just told us that the furnace was 20 years old.
That's it?
That's it.
All right.
Who's responsible? Looks like no one.
What's the sense of bringing in a home inspector if they don't give you the right information?
Read the fine print. And it's stated all over the paperwork. We're not responsible. It's what appears. It's what we can see. So they don't lift things. They don't punch holes, which I understand. Nobody wants holes punched in their house. But when it's right there in front of you, you should be able to explain there's an issue.
Can we show you the lights before you leave?
What lights?
The pot lights. The
Yeah.
problems with the pot lights.
Sure.
Electricity pops out a lot, right?
Yeah, we get breakers.
I don't know how to explain that, but you know what I mean? You're up here, no, we have to go down there and flip the electricity. The pot lights come on and off mysteriously, and there's a one pot light that burns out bulbs all the time, regardless of wattage. So, and that's that one right there. Plus, under the stairs, there's a halogen light that it's where the kids play, and it falls out and hangs and.
We have a receptacle box, punched a hole into the ceiling, a cord plugged in. Okay, I wouldn't like the kids playing with this. Look at this, we even have an on-off here.
The problem is you don't know who the inspector is. I mean, he might be someone who took a 6-week training course.
Was any of this talked about, like this box hanging down like this when the extension
nothing.
cord plugged in?
No.
Nothing.
They might not be qualified to be doing that kind of job.
All right. Where's your duct? Where's your heat?
We don't have one in the kitchen.
You don't have heat in your kitchen. Did you know you require heat in your kitchen?
Well,
There's got to be a register in every room of the house.
Sure.
Was this in the book?
no, I don't think so.
Oh, give me a break.
I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna take it apart, I'm gonna bring in a licensed electrician, a licensed plumber, I'm gonna bring in all my guys. We're gonna fix it for this family. They just put out enough money. They don't have the money to do this. We're gonna help them. We're gonna make it right.
Once I rip it apart, I'll bring you back in, we'll take a look, and I'll tell you what I have to do to fix it.
Okay, great.
Okay? But don't worry. We're here to fix it.
Thank you, Mom.
Okay? Keep smiling. I'm gonna go get my guys.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Maybe we just gotta hold up the plumbing so it drains.
Give it the proper slope.
Yeah. He didn't turn on the washing machine.
We didn't see him do that.
He didn't check anything.
No.
Just visually walked around and made a couple
That's
of
what it
notes.
seems like, yes.
One thing we do know is we're gonna take this apart. So let's pull out the sink, pull out the toilet, pull out the washer and dryer, protect it with drop glass, pull out the doors, protect it, keep all the track, keep all the hardware, tape it to the back of the door. Start putting it in a bag and tape it to the back of the door.
Okay.
Pull the racks out. The sink, the cabinets are still good. We'll keep them. Maybe we'll incorporate a small laundry room on the other side, dress it up somewhat nice, and make sure we put in a proper bathroom here.
All that water was sitting in that pipe, so it's all coming back.
It's not dead.
Check this one for me. Possible that those are hooked together?
Is that it?
Okay, buddy, that's it, man.
Okay, check to see if there's power on the heater, please.
Sure. Okay, there's power in the plug. There doesn't seem to be power in the heater.
What? I shut off the dryer, which is the 30 amp breaker right here. Here's the dryer, and it disconnects the heater. Where's the junction? Drop the ceiling, please.
Okay.
First thing I would have told the homeowners is you have an electrical spaghetti factory in here that needs to be addressed immediately.
Another junction box up here. Live again.
I have just shut that off. Like, why put an electric heat? We got a furnace. It's a small house. Tie into the electrical, tie it all up. I don't even know how they ran this thing. There's a freaking furnace here.
1, 2, 3,
5 more over here.
4. 5 more over here? 8. We have 8 junction boxes in this one little, what is this?
Half.
Roughly 8 by 10 room.
I shut you off. You've got to be kidding me.
No.
There's where they tied in the 220.
Yeah.
They brought off other lines off the 220, came down for the dryer. That is totally unacceptable. Totally. Now, here's a wonderful example of what we don't want to see. Not only is this line tied into that box over there that represents a 220 volt line, they've even marked it as a 220. Okay, I've already disconnected it. So what'd they do? All they did was put on Marantz, okay? We can see the red and the black, which means 220 volts. Now, I have disconnected it, but when you're going to do this and you want to kill a line in the ceiling, you put the black and the red together. You're pulling it together. That way, if somebody turns it on by accident, it trips it and it cannot be used. Just sitting that wire up like that, unacceptable. Now, the electrical is 10 times worse than the plumbing. Do me a favor, disconnect the plumbing, cut the drain, get it all out of the way here so I can drop the walls.
Sure. No glue.
Only connected one down there.
Uh-oh. Water still in this one.
What a smell. This stuff's just falling apart. Even if it was all glued properly. It's hard to talk. Everybody wants to throw up. But this is what happens when you don't vent your plumbing, you don't your plumbing drain properly, you don't glue your joints, you don't. This is what happens when you have a handyman do the plumbing.
I don't really like the smell. Let's say we get these pipes right out of here.
That's good.
Okay.
This washroom is as good as a closet. They should have used it for storage.
You got some mold, eh? Nice. Look at that.
Smells just getting worse.
Is that mold for sure? Dave?
Yeah, that's mold.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that smell is. Okay, this is a surface mold. It's not a huge deal. However, it stinks. I did not honestly expect to see mold underneath the vinyl, but it all makes sense to me now that I see it leaking from the washing machine, leaking from the corner. That just slipped out, so obviously that slowly dripped. The floor is running this way. It got it. Roll it back out, cut it in strips, roll it up gently, put it in a bag, close the bag, carry it out, okay?
No problem.
Plastic off the door.
Okay.
Shut off the furnace. Roll it out, cut it, strip it, bag it, get rid of it. Let's get the spray. Spray the floor, clean the floor. Once it's done, we'll continue. I have a lot of mold that I have to clean up, and I would bring it down to show it, but I'm concerned for your kids. So is there any way is there a place you can go for the night?
Yes, we certainly.
Because I'm going to be doing not only a major cleanup, but I'm going to be doing a spray over top of it to kill the contaminants.
Okay.
And reading the directions, it says you shouldn't use it around children until it's dry.
Okay.
So if I could actually get you to pack up and leave.
That's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not a problem.
Not a problem. We'd be happy to.
All right, it's coming up pretty good, but it's only a surface mold, so it'll be easy. You're just using soap and water, right?
Yeah, just soap and water.
Okay, we'll scrub it once, and get rid of the water, and get rid of the rag into a garbage bag. Scrub it again,
All right.
and we're gonna lay down plastic.
Okay.
And conceal it until we drop the rest of the room.
Yeah.
We're gonna pull up the plastic, and we're gonna put on our mold spray down on the floor, which is why I wanted the kids more than the reason any of you have been gone between the spray and the mold.
Right.
Once it dries overnight, we're set.
Okay.
Okay? This has got to be the worst electrical I've seen in one small area. The worst I've seen.
It's funny because when I was cleaning out the basement yesterday, I complained to her. I said, you know what? Something smells down here, and it doesn't smell right.
It's gonna be hard to tell a point to stop fixing the plumbing here now. people's houses where it's been tied in over the years here and there. Everything's loose. I just pulled this 90 or the stack here. It wasn't glued in or anything. Sewer gas was just filling this basement. It's almost like everything that you could do wrong, they did here.
Look what they filled it with. Plastic. Is that a plate on there? It is a plate, eh?
It's live.
It's live?
Concrete base. Okay, they use the concrete board in the jam to try and keep the water tight so somebody has knowledge of shower stalls.
Yeah.
Use the drywall with mastic so they don't have knowledge of mastic and tile.
Right.
Where it can bleed through the grout and get into the mastic and create mold. No signs of mold yet. Laid some bricks in the bottom. Poured a concrete pad on top.
Right.
No membranes. So they're
Look at
relying
that.
solely on the join of the corners, not to wick through the wall.
Unbelievable.
I've never in my life seen so many junctions in one room. Why don't my pipes bang? I haven't got a clue.
Yeah.
I got a bad feeling we're gonna get this whole basement. Can you imagine?
I'm just gonna pass you the whole thing.
Everything in here out there. Here we go again. That's a good way to run plumbing, you frickin' morons. Look what they did. They run the plumbing right down the wall here, where someone can easily put a screw in the pipe. This is kind of scary. It runs up the wall here. Are we over top of the door? You're damn right we are. There it is right there. Oh, how cute is that? Okay, there's your second one. Lovely day.
You wanna tell me the bad news now? Are we going all the way with this?
Yeah. We're gonna have to get rid of the TV, the couch, all the stuff. Get it out of here. Got the whole thing. Man, I know how to find them, don't I? Just a simple plumbing problem. Oh, did you find another junction?
Yep. You're right. Didn't even see it yet. And another one here.
Like, look at the spaghetti factory of
Yeah.
wires here. Right here.
Yeah.
How did they even figure out how to tie in? I swear to God, somebody's come in, wired it, and went, let's see if it works. Cross your fingers. Cross your fingers.
Well, look at this. They even took the side off because they couldn't fit any more in through the actual holes they
come off
give
the
you.
side.
And they came in the side just to add more to it. That's unreal.
This is where you want to bring in electrical inspectors and, but it never leads back to anyone. Who's responsible? Great question. Obviously, everything was done without a permit. How many different people played with electrical in here? Just like the plumbing. Dan's pulling out a hot water line that runs in a continuous square. Continuous. And then tapped off 2 feeds off of it. Like, that's plumbing. Why don't they just put up another layer? How would a home inspector not imagine this? You see it, we're in front of your eyes. What's where you can't see it? Look around. Look around. Look at the way things are done. Odds are there's electrical hidden in here, and I'd put my money on it, is what I'd say.
There's the mold. I knew it.
The irony is, I expected mold here.
Right.
And not here. And there was probably 100 times more here than what we're seeing.
Yeah.
It did get through the grout. It did feed off the mastic and get into the drywall.
Look at that. Well, this would be, I think, number 17, Mike? 18. There you go. It's broken. Nice.
Sand.
Look at that.
They filled it with sand and brick. Chunks of it,
That is unbelievable.
And there's one of the main reasons we take everything down.
What is that from?
That's just because this washing machine leaked out. It's wicking up.
Right.
pull the wall, get all the insulation out so we can do it properly. As soon as we're finished cleaning, we'll spray this floor, we'll shut it down, turn on the furnace, get out, come back tomorrow morning and continue.
No problem.
Yep.
See that, bud?
Oh, yeah. Ants. Ooh, my.
A lot
And
of
they're eating in right into the wood.
Look at the nest. They got a nest of them.
And behind the paper?
In behind the paper.
Oh, look at that.
Wow, they're just gonna love the moisture in that wood.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at the nest in there. Just take that right outside.
All right.
As quick as you can.
Okay.
Can you fathom the thought that we come in really just to put in a new bathroom?
Look at that.
Yeah, it's carpenter ants. Not a good sign. Not a good sign at all. It looks like they're not going to be home for a few days because we're going to have to make a look at the holes.
Wow.
right through.
They will eat your house apart.
Yeah.
Now, how far have they gone is the question. Hopefully, they just love to stay in this one neighborhood, but they started to work their way up, and that's not a good sign. Oh, they're everywhere. Look at them. Oh, my God. Ah. In one room, we have plumbing problems, which led to electrical problems, which led to massive mold, a few thousand ants, more mold in the corner, 18 junction points in electrical, all the plumbing's wrong, and we just started. Yeah. You ever get the feeling you're locked up and you can't get out? That's one room in that bin. One room. This is the drain.
This is the drain. For the
This was the
kitchen.
vent for the washer and dryer.
There we go. Yes.
Yeah, but where does that go? They've capped it.
They've capped it, right.
It's capped right there.
So now did they put that T in, or was that T in there for something else? I don't know. I can feel the pipe going back into the wall, and I can feel it going up. This window here, and this sink is directly above that other window downstairs. The window here where that drain's coming down in the basement, and we have our kitchen sink at this window here. You see they're directly above, and we know we have our kitchen sink drain in the center underneath the cabinet coming down, and that's that one pipe going through, shooting through the duct. The other pipe is on the side here, and as we said inside, we're probably assuming it's tying in above 36 inches above that kitchen cabinet, going up this wall and shooting across, and it ties into the vent going through the roof up here. Another thing I wanted to check out here was the weepers tying into the floor drain with the older houses past the 70s and into the early 70s. The weepers and the downspouts from the houses used to tie in together, go underneath the ground around the house, come in and tie into the floor drain above the trap. One reason would be to get rid of all that water and bring it out to the street. The reason why we don't do that anymore is so the sewage plant doesn't have to treat that much water.
All right, that's tied into here.
Yep.
Standard weeping, double line going out, ties it on the outside. Old line kitchen drain, vent, everything would tie into the stack that was right here. But why is the stack tied into the weeping and not the sewage? It's that line that's got me confused. Weeping, I accept. We have a clean out for sewage, and I'm pretty damn sure this is two separate lines that go out and tie in outside.
I know what you're saying. I accept that too.
Weeping
That's
goes
right.
in here. We
That's
have
right.
a clean out for the weeping and a clean out for the sewage.
Right.
Why is that line
Tied in there.
tied into here?
Right. Yes.
Tell me I'm going to be bringing in my scoping guys. You know what? I'm just going to make the call. I'm going to have them come in. We're going to find out where these lines go to, where they tie into,
Yep. See if we
and
wanna-
maybe we're breaking up a whole lot more floor than we want. That's disgusting. That's not full. Tell me that's not full.
I could
Tell
put
me.
my hammer in.
No, I wouldn't do that.
You could put. Yeah, I'll put yours in then.
Let's let's pull all the drop cloths off the stairs, take them outside, shake them out, get them ready for something else. Since we're gonna pull this up, let's drop the baseboard ASAP, and I'm gonna start cutting the carpet in strips so we can use it as runners rather than throw it in the garbage.
Great.
Yeah, let's carpet over everything, right? Let's cover up everything. It's drywall over everything. God, man. When do people stop doing that? These are 12 by 12 tiles. You could have scraped them up with ease. We saw all the joints, which means there's no tape. Just the plastered finish all the way around it. No tape in the corners, okay? We see that. It's right there. There's no tape. Somebody threw up the drywall over top, plastered the hell out of it, painted it, and called it a finished basement. Just wondering why they had an access here. Oh, somebody had a problem with the bell in the past. One
already.
Another one right Major no. Major no. 1, 2, 3, 4 here.
Look at this one.
That is a telephone line, and that would explain why they had to cut a hole here to get to the telephone jack to run a new line, because somebody pierced the line.
Yeah.
They used boxes galore, used pieces of drywall, used pieces of tan test. Unbelievable. Oh, God. This should be a double gang box, not 2 singles. Obviously, no intelligence here whatsoever. And again, is there any intelligence anywhere here? No?
Started demoing the other room. Mike had a feeling that we were going to find some more ants. So, you know, we didn't find any in the rest of it, and we were pretty happy about it. But as soon as I come under the stairs here, I seem to be coming across about 20 or 30 at a time, and we can see as they're eating through the wood, they actually leave debris behind, and that's what that is there in the corner. So this here would indicate a lot more. So we're getting closer to them. You can start seeing them all moving in behind here. There's a couple there.
Perfect timing, because we just found some more ants here. Not a ton, but at this point, you know, we're gonna keep looking. But let me show you in here first, where it all started with the bug problem. We found a mother nest right here yesterday. It was phenomenal. Had to be 1,000, at least 1,000. They came in through the holes like crazy. We got it down quickly, tried to get as much of the ants as we could, and then we sprayed like hell. Once we thought there was none left, sure enough, they jumped out of the hole and committed suicide. Sure. Concern, you know, we have the deck right there. That's what I'm thinking. If they started here, will they get into the deck? And sure enough, we started to gut the other side. And we're now starting to find the ants on the other side. Now, I got a question for you. Carpenter ants normally will stay in an area that's moist with the wood because they have to feed off it, right?
Absolutely. They actually don't feed on the wood. They live in the wood. When you get wet or damaged wood, it's a lot easier for them to nest in, to tunnel, to make damage, as opposed to new studs.
So what they did was they made a home here.
Absolutely.
Okay, unlike termites where they actually will feed through the wood, is that correct?
Yeah, termites will feed on the wood. Carpenter ants will nest in the wood.
Okay, so far so good. We think we've got this. We know we have more issues over here. Does that possibly mean another nest?
It's very possible. This could be the mother nest here. You may get sometimes in different situations satellite nests where they may move a little further down depending on the situation. Sometimes they outgrow the area and they have to move a little further down. They may go up. Towards the end of the day when you're all done, we'll do a good residual spray. We'll probably, if you found a lot coming out of here and there's already holes here, they may be in the brick as well. So what we'll do is we'll drill some holes and what we'll inject is to kind of help flush them out. If they are in there, more will come out, and then we'll know.
Which means the possibility is they could be living right within the whole void.
It's possible, but if you found the nest on this side of the wood, they prefer to be there rather than in the brick, because the brick is going to be colder.
Makes sense. Let's have a warm home. Okay, Damon?
Yes, sir.
You ready for your challenge? Get the rest of this down?
Yeah.
And in 1 hour, I want you to design this basement on paper for me.
You're kidding me.
Nope. Bathroom,
Yeah.
total, laundry room, rec room, usable space. Show me what you can do.
Done.
One thing I love about old construction is how they did things. Let's see how they studded the wall. Even though here we're 16-inch on center, here for some strange reason they're 24, but they braced across the center, normally at the 4-foot mark. Notice how clean these 2x4s are, and I'm telling you, the wall is 100% true. It's not warped, so it's quality wood.
with braces with a cross membrane across the back. What this does is make such a beautiful structural wall that does not sway. Today, what do our walls look like? Like this, because we have a crown in, a crown out. Number one wood. Look down that edge, it's perfect. That's it.
This is a very nerve-wracking thing to do. You know, Mike's done them since the beginning. So for him to actually let me do this was very nerve-wracking to begin with, and I just hope he likes it.
Giving him the opportunity to design this himself helps me teach him on how to think ahead. That's the whole point in this business, is I have to think 10 steps ahead.
Come out of here, boys. Good luck.
59 minutes. It's helping him understand how I see things. And it really, in the long run, it teaches him. 58 minutes. Okay, we have our standard floor drain. Okay, we're very, very sure that the weeping system comes off here, which would be the weeping tile outside. I'm assuming in the past there was a vertical stack up to about this height, and the sink came off, and the washer and dryer were over here. I would take it the laundry tub was here. So it would be a small 4-inch that came out of the floor, where we have a 3-inch over there. I guess the idea is to pull the insulation, see how that ties in, because we know we have the clean out here, we have also the sewage here and the clean out here, and we know that within so many years ago, there was 2 lines that went out, then they tied in outside and went out to the sewage, correct?
Yes, and depending on the age of the house.
And depending where as well.
And where, yes.
So I need you to visually see everything in the floor here, and especially because when we had the toilet flushed and we could see the clean out from this side, it backed through.
Okay. Okay, Chris, go ahead. Going through the trap now.
Going swimming.
Going swimming. Here we go. This is tree roots.
That's nice.
That's common with the clay drains. The tree roots will grow in between the cracks in the clay pipe where they're joined together.
Well, there's just a lot of crap in here.
Okay, hold on. We should be coming to the clean out area.
You see it now?
Yeah, you can see the
There's a Y here.
There's a Y.
That's our feet.
Now that could be the there is a downspout in the ground on that corner of the house. So that could come over and tie in. What do you think?
That is coming off of the right-hand side.
You know what we can do? Let's just flush the toilet upstairs.
There you go.
Okay.
That's your stack connection, yeah?
Now you notice how that isn't really racing out, is it?
It shouldn't be coming back towards us like it was either.
It did. So we know that that's fairly good.
There's a couple of areas of minor backfall.
But we did see around right here, weeds.
Yes,
roots.
Tree roots. You can hear the sound going up. It's pretty much idiot-proof, so it's just perfect for plumbers.
Okay.
Jackpot.
You're picking up right now is the end of it?
Yes, on the end of the camera is a transmitter, and this has a series of 6 antennas built in, picks up the transmissions, triangulates the position, and right now our camera is directly below us here, and we're 12 inches deep below the floor.
Oh, that is cool. However, we have roots right here.
Correct.
One thing I never expected was that we'd see roots, actual roots, inside the house.
Well, I was outside earlier, and I was looking, and they have a large tree in the front yard. As a rule of thumb, we use that the root system is about 50% larger than the canopy of the tree.
So if the canopy of the tree is huge...
If the canopy is 50 feet in diameter, you can expect the roots to be 75 feet in diameter.
Bigger?
Bigger than the canopy of the tree, yes. And quite often in houses where the trees are close to the house, it's been trimmed back many times. So the canopy is artificially small. The root system can be even larger.
Okay, I saw that tree. It's overhanging half the house.
Correct.
Which means you're telling me the roots are going to come right through the floor here.
Absolutely. Probably anywhere you dig in this basement, you're going to find roots. This is like wax gas.
How do you shut this up? One room, I don't get this.
One small bathroom.
Wouldn't got a house in a day. Not this place. Okay, so from what started from a smell, led to many things as we started to come down, and we noticed that obviously the plumbing was incorrect. We saw a few electrical issues as well.
So as we started to take things down, let's look up for a second. Junction point, junction point, junction point, junction point, junction, junction, junction. Considering how many were in this room, we're talking 18 concealed junction points in this room alone. The more we checked into the electrical here, the more I went, oh my God. This is the worst electrical I've seen in my life.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this.
Either was I. Not at all.
I brought in my HVAC guys. Your furnace is 20 years old. We also found that the ductwork above it, which leads to the second floor, has been disconnected, and you have major heat loss right there above the furnace.
I wasn't expecting this.
No.
No way. I
No
just
way.
thought, okay, well, you'll find some mold.
When we pulled up the vinyl floor, we found your major smell. We had so much mold, this whole floor was nothing but mold.
Wow.
We found a mega nest of carpenter ants.
Wow.
And I mean a mega nest.
I mean, a nest of carpenter ants, you know, it's unbelievable, unbelievable. Freaked right out.
Here's an even bigger surprise. Throughout the whole outside of your property, you see that big tree on your front lawn?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that big tree, you see how big the top of it is?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the roots. The roots are bigger than the top of the tree. And I don't mean thickness, I mean in span. They have climbed right through underneath the concrete and broke through all your clay pipes.
It's crazy because Mike came in here and saw the problems
Right away.
immediately. Yeah,
Saw
your
the
plumbing,
problems.
your plumbing doesn't work, and he
Yeah,
was right. It
he
didn't
was
work.
right, it didn't
Your
work.
electrical wiring is all wrong, and it was all wrong. And you know, he guaranteed us we'll have mold down here, and we had mold,
Mm-hmm.
even more than maybe he expected. But the carpenter ants, you know, I mean, wow.
We continued to gut, we found more carpenter ants on the other side, and a hell of a lot more junction points. So in total, we're in the area of approximately 40 junction points in your basement, which is just unheard of.
I'm just freaked out. Who would have known? You know, you walk into this house and you look at it and it looked great. And it didn't take Mike long to find all these problems that should have been caught, or at least some of them.
All the signs are there. There's something wrong. Someone's played in here. And that's what we can see, especially on the side that wasn't touched, in other words, finished. But we could see the electrical and plumbing that says there's obviously foul play here.
You know, it's different when you buy a fixer-upper. You know that
Or
you're going in to buy a
something you're gonna
fixer-upper,
demolish,
right?
yeah.
But when you buy a house that, after the inspection, it's great. There's nothing wrong with your house. And you come in, and all of a sudden things start not working. This is bad, whatever. The shower doesn't work. Then you start thinking, well, and maybe it's not so good. Maybe it's not the house I thought I bought.
Yeah.
We're going to make it
Scary.
warm, safe, and sound. And we're going to turn it into a much better look.
Thank you.
So don't worry, okay?
Sure.
But please, I need you out for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yep.
not a problem.
Starting today?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Basements are scary places. Now I know why the kids don't want to come down here.
Now, this was a little bit tough because of where the stair layout is according to these pillars. So I had to really sort of think about this. So this is what I'm looking at. You're basically looking at it like this.
Okay, we have 2 pillars. I
Right.
don't want the pillars to stand out, so we
Okay.
should incorporate them into a wall space. I agree with your closet.
Right.
No access on
Okay.
this side, strictly here. So what you're trying to do is create open concept,
Exactly.
right? So you have an office play area and
Yeah.
possibly a rec room.
Yeah, I also heard that one of the kids, they're sleeping together. So eventually they're going to want to take over that office upstairs. These kids are going to get older. They're going to want to take over that office, thinking of at least bringing it down here. So having it all open concept. So if they need the kids down here, she could still work with an office and have the kids down here with her as well. So that's why I wanted to keep it sort of open concept.
Good. So why not put the bathroom over here?
Okay.
If that wall goes across here,
Yeah.
and our laundry room is there, and our bathroom is here, we're away from the panel. We feed 2 purposes, bathroom, laundry room, so drainage comes right in across here and
Right.
ties in. Love it.
Yeah.
However, if you took that bathroom and put it here, we've
Right.
now opened it right up, right?
Love that idea.
Completely
actually.
opened it up. So we have an open area here. It's
Yeah.
going to make it look 10,000 times bigger than
Right.
it was when we first walked in here. So I need you to redraw this. I want you to bring the wall across here and hiding this column within the wall, bringing it down, give me a door to the furnace room and the laundry room. You're gonna have to incorporate this with Dan, how functional the toilet will work against the shower. Where should the toilet be? Is it at the end of the run? Is it at the beginning of the run? Because believe me, it's extremely important.
Okay.
Now, perfect around the stairs, having a closet. Now you're gonna come across with a wall here and a wall here, and now I need you to come up with an area as to where this wall should be.
I see.
For the bathroom, hiding that column.
Okay.
Turning this into a functional rec room.
Just big open space right in here.
You got it, man.
Nice.
I've never seen so many roots, fine. Even over here when I was digging here.
Isn't that unbelievable? And the tree is about 20 feet from the house. Not a good sign, eh?
No. So this is the final one for our amendments and everything.
Okay, I really like this, Damon. I like the way we have an office here, and the open concept works for me rather than closing it off.
Right.
I like the way this is now opened up because it just makes it so big here. Let's do an open doorway as big as possible, please.
Okay.
6 inches off this wall, 6 inches off this wall. Keep it open concept, no doors.
Okay.
Tub, toilet, sink, bathroom's good. Door to laundry room here now.
Yep, right here.
Really good. Washer, dryer, tankless hot water.
Yep.
Good job.
Thanks, buddy.
Keep doing it.
Thanks, man.
You know what, Mike, with all due respect, I'm not going to bother tracing this down. You know what, I'm actually going to pull one of your lines. Take it all down.
We want a safe environment for the children down there because, you know, they're always getting into things down there, and we want to make sure they don't get hurt.
First things first, there was a bathroom in here, shower in the corner. As we started to take things down, because it all started with a smell, that's when we started to notice the electrical was beyond the plumbing. Take a look. We're used to seeing the junctions like this, right?
Well, yeah, if this was all concealed, it would be against code.
Okay.
Because they all need to be accessible. So when you end up placing this one as high as you just did, you're telling me that you're planning on drywalling from here to here, and that's all going to be left up high against code.
We had a wall in here. We had the shower on this side. That was a covered up box.
Nice. Probably live behind there?
And that's mastic. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. This was all closed in.
Even these junction boxes here?
Yep.
Okay, all these boxes were concealed behind, and these pot lights were put in.
That's correct.
This was brought on the outside, or there was an additional box
Oh,
here?
it was in the wall. This is where the shower was.
No, you've got ungrounded lines on these brown ones here. These are all ungrounded.
They ponied off of this to run the electrical heater and the dryer, brought in 2 other lines. Let's follow these lines for a second. These two 220 lines. What do we see here?
It's a 220 line. Just hang, it was just
like that.
What's the matter with this guy?
This ground, you're gonna see these everywhere, Frank. Everywhere.
What?
They ran an independent ground to ground certain items that obviously were not grounded. It's everywhere.
This cab tire, they ended up leaving this behind as like extension cords. You use that to make extension cords. This is the way they were giving the boxes ground.
That's correct.
You're kidding me.
No.
And this just runs upstairs and picks up a ground somewhere upstairs.
Yeah.
Hey, look, there's already a fire that's broke out in there. You can see all the corroded lines in there. You see all that blue stuff or greenish stuff? Yeah. That's all oxidization. It's already happened on that copper line. It's inexcusable. It's common sense. You got 3 wires trying to go through here. One's gonna go outside. Like, use your head. I'm just overwhelmed with all the other stuff. I'm allowed to say stuff. I can't say what I want to say. The other things that are here, like, and I can't even fix it. I have never seen this many junction boxes in a basement till this day.
This here, it's grounded in the panel.
Yeah.
Followed it back, goes over towards the furnace. It's connected again, and it's wrapped around BX. Now, I don't know if they're trying to use that as a ground.
I'm not an electrical inspector. I think that if an electrical inspector was to walk through, he'd take one walk down, start looking. The minute he'd see all these junction boxes with all the wrong connectors being used, he'd walk right back out. Have you even checked this?
Tried to follow it. I don't know where it goes.
Nice commercial. This is for motor starting switch. Beautiful. In a house. This guy just found any scrap he could and just used it. What am I inspecting? What am I inspecting? It's, I'm inspecting a home fire just waiting to happen. It's a circuit. It's a dedicated line that comes into here, and then it goes nowhere. Nowhere.
Unless
they're using invisible wire.
Unless
That's it. I quit. Okay. We just noticed that there's a wire coming from the electrical panel, stringing across these floor joists, and then this brown line here comes into this box and then went nowhere. Like it just disappeared. There's nothing coming out on the other side or whatever.
I shut that down. It's its own circuit, which is
Yeah, but see where it goes?
Nowhere.
No. It goes somewhere.
Oh my.
It comes into here and up. And the funny thing is, I turned around and said what you said. It's going nowhere. These idiots just, I don't know, maybe they were planning on using it later time.
So at
Joe
this
said,
point-
no, let's open it. He opens it and there's a line in there that's going into the ductwork. This is
That's
cold
hot
air.
air.
This is hot air.
And around it as well.
Come on. I'm thinking we start in that kitchen, get the necessities wired, bring them here, leave extra wire, temporarily run those, then just kill the rest of the house. Can I retire after this one?
Can I get you a beer? Can we go for a beer?
Please? Two.
Let's go for a beer.
Something strong?
Let's go punch the line, man.
Strong.
Let's go for a beer. Joe, let's see what we can do, Joe.
I'm trapped on an island. It's all right, it's my island. I just need a chair and a beer and I'm fine. I'll be back soon.
Very happy with that now. That's very snug, very tight. I bet you I couldn't pull that out. Nope. Perfect. Mike 1, Dan nothing.
Hey, you're wearing my hat.
Mike Holmes on the white helmet.
I'm singing in my head.
Hey guys, power's turned off in the house.
Go ahead.
You're thinking, well, you had the inspector here. If he didn't say anything about it, it must be all right.
This house should have burnt down years ago.
The whole house needs to get rewired. There's no ifs or buts about it.
You expect him to see things and tell you, or at least write them in the report. You know, this looks odd, this is wrong, this isn't per code.
This washroom is as good as a closet. They should have used it for storage.
According to him, it's a solid house with good bones.
I am absolutely disgusted with this home inspector.
The inspector never caught any of it, so we were oblivious to it.
Oh my God! Yeah, it's Carpenter ants.
I like the area, I like the house, I just don't like all the problems.
Oh, yeah, baby. Mike Holmes. On the money.
It's ridiculous. I've decided now to gut it. Take it all down.
My contract love.
Me too. Unacceptable. God, I love my job.
It's something I always say to people. If you're gonna buy a home, I don't care if it's brand new, used, get a home inspector. Have it inspected. Make sure that there's no problems with the home.
During the process of buying a house, we demanded an inspection because that was one of the biggest requirements, that everything be in working order when we bought it. And we thought the home inspection would do that for us.
Good morning. How are you? Eeyore, nice to see you again.
Hi,
Chris?
Mike.
You prefer Chris or Christine?
Chris is good.
Chris is good. I like that.
Yeah.
The question is, how qualified should you be to be a home inspector?
Inspector didn't see anything out of the ordinary.
We thought, wow, the guy really, you know, this is a great house. Nothing was really wrong with it, right?
Drop the ceiling, please.
What they're looking at are things that we need to know about our home. Electrical, structural, plumbing, HVAC.
You've got to be kidding me. No. You've got, there's where they tied in the 220. They brought off other lines off the 220, came down for the dryer. I've never in my life seen so many junctions in one room. That is totally unacceptable. Totally. Now the electrical is 10 times worse than the plumbing.
First of all, you're not a professional home person, so you walk around with him, or you did, and you expect him to see things.
I got a bad feeling we're gonna get this whole basement. Imagine. Everything in here out there.
Plus, you're not a professional to see those things so quickly.
Or know what to check.
And what to check, right? So you know, you walk around, and then it's only afterward you come in and you start using things, and then things don't work.
Raw sewage, everybody wants to throw up. This is what happens when you don't vent your plumbing, you don't plumb and drain properly, you don't glue your joints, you don't... This is what happens when you have a handyman do the plumbing.
Why do we hire people? To give us advice, to give us the things that we need to do in life so that we don't have problems.
You got some mold, eh?
I am absolutely thoroughly disgusted with this home inspector. If you smell it in the air, you search, you'll find it.
Who's responsible? Looks like no one.
Roll it back out, cut it in strips, roll it up gently, put it in a bag, plastic off the door. Okay. Shut off the furnace. Roll it out, cut it, strip it, bag it, get rid of it. Let's get the spray. Spray the floor, clean the floor. Once it's done, we'll continue.
Read the fine print. And it's stated all over the paperwork. We're not responsible. It's what appears. It's what we can see. So they don't lift things. They don't punch holes, which I understand. Nobody wants holes punched in their house. But when it's right there in front of you, you should be able to explain there's an issue.
Look at the nest. They got a nest of them.
And behind the paper?
In behind the paper.
Oh, look at that.
Wow, they're just gonna love the moisture in that one.
Yeah.
Oh, they're everywhere. Look at them. Oh my God. Ah, lovely day.
You want to tell me the bad news now? Are we going all the way with this?
Yeah. We're gonna have to get rid of the TV, the couch, all the stuff, get it out of here. We got the whole thing. In one room, we have plumbing problems, which led to electrical problems, which led to massive mold, a few thousand ants, more mold in the corner, 18 junction points in electrical, all the plumbing's wrong, and we just started. Yeah.
It's crazy because Mike came in here and saw the problems
Right away.
immediately. Yeah,
Saw
your plumbing doesn't work, and he was right. It didn't
was
work.
right, it didn't
Your
work.
electrical wiring is all wrong, and it was all wrong. And you know, he guaranteed us we'll have mold down here, and we had mold, even more than maybe he expected. But the carpenter answered, you know, I mean, wow.
This is the way they were giving the boxes ground.
That's correct.
And this just runs upstairs and picks up a ground somewhere upstairs.
Yeah.
Hey, look, there's already a fire that's broke out in there. You can see all the corroded lines in there. And I can't even fix it.
Well, now that we've completely gutted the basement, a little more than I expected, we're gonna get ready to rewire the whole house, all new plumbing, and I've given Damon the task of redesigning a new basement.
So this is the final one for our amendments and everything.
Okay, I really like this, Damon. I like the way we have an office here, and the open concept works for me rather than closing it off.
Right.
I like the way this is now opened up because it just makes it so big here. Let's do an open doorway as big as possible, please.
Okay.
6 inches off this wall, 6 inches off this wall. Keep it open concept, no doors.
Okay.
Tub, toilet, sink, bathroom's good. Door to laundry room here now.
Yep, right here.
Really good. Washer, dryer, tankless hot water.
Yep.
Good job.
Thanks, buddy.
Keep doing it.
Thanks, man.
So how much damage are you doing, my friend?
Well, so far here, this room here is not gonna be that much damage. We got no lights.
Downstairs.
Well, yeah, because we got no lights on the ceiling and basement's open. We got the kitchen light that's here. Our joists are running in our favor this way,
Okay.
so we can limit damage in the kitchen ceiling. But here, so I'm gonna be coming across here on my wire, over, because now the joists are running this way, so I gotta drill each joist.
Let's cover up everything. Their bed, their clothes, their TV. You can punch the hole there. That'll give you the beginning of what you need to see in the void.
Okay.
We're gonna come up through the closet downstairs, which is directly under this, right?
Yep.
If we gotta pull the sink, we gotta pull the sink.
Okay.
Okay, and that's probably the easiest route because there's our stack. And if you said you can take up the stack route because you got to replace that receptacle, this, they got one out here, and this is probably all, again, wired the same as downstairs.
Actually, the whole top floor is a homeowner breaker.
Geez, surprise. We got to get to the lighting here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get to the lighting here, smoke detector. So there is gonna be some damage on this ceiling as well.
Yeah. Let's try and keep it as much as possible damage in the hallways and the staircase and not the bedrooms, as least amount as possible in the bedrooms, but don't cut anything till we've draped this. I mean, I want this place draped. Stay to the closet and right there. And that way we'll see how much we can feed and what's left from there, and if you have any other issues, we'll find another route. But that should be enough, because that allows us to get right through, right?
Yeah. And then drill down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Although I'm not going out there.
Oh, looky here. I guess this is where they put all the scrap drywall.
Top floor bathroom, taking off mirrors and cabinets.
The reason we're doing this, pulling this cabinet out now, is because Joe needs to get behind here to fish his wires up, because we're rewiring the house. What they have underneath this cabinet is a heat vent that's going into the cabinet and into the kick at the same time. It's one of those old heat vents. So they put this cabinet in, they didn't want to move the register. So when you look underneath the cabinet, you have half the vent coming into the cabinet space and half the vent going into the kick plate, trying to vent this washer and trying to heat it up.
There we go. If we do an interior weeping with all the roots in this ground, we're going to create the same issue. The roots will go into the weeping because it is the feed channel for the roots, okay? Let's do a solid pipe. We're going to do it across the front, the driveway. Let's embed it in stone to allow a secondary drainage bed, which leads to the sump pump. Let's do it.
Okay.
That stinks.
I'm coming.
Lots of plumbing here, everything. I'm about half done. Not even. I'm not half done. Now I gotta bring all these vents and drains. I gotta bring them up. I gotta tie them all in. I gotta cut out all the water pipe, reroute all that, take out that kitchen sink drain that's running through the furnace. And then I gotta find a vent in the attic and drop it down. Find a way to drop it down. Because that 1.5 inches over there by the kitchen that we found is not enough to pick up all these new fixtures. I'm getting upset.
We are plastering off this whole house. What has to happen is Dan has to run plumbing lines. So he's running plumbing lines. They have to be vented for flow and everything. That has to go through the roof here. So basically, we have to do chases from the basement plumbing all the way to the roof so that it can vent outside. In order to do that, it means cutting up the floors, cutting out the walls. It means a whole lot of damage. So what we're doing is making sure that this whole house is plastered off, because the last thing we want to do is clean this whole house by the time we're done. It just adds on 2 or 3 days work. So plastic it now saves us work later.
Okay, that's not what we want to do. I know it's only 3 meters, but it sure beats mixing bags and bags of concrete down there, and I honestly prefer this over bags any day. Where'd you bring us?
We got Ultra 25 MPA with some fibers in there just to help a little bit with the shrinkage.
Why not? It's too bad I didn't take up the whole floor, but I got enough on my hands.
Oh, are you kidding me? There's no way I can do full buckets here, boys.
Don't run, you're gonna get hurt. If you look here, we'll see a crack, right? All I really have to do is blend it in. It's amazing what it does, just really sealing the edges. To me, it's purely aesthetic. It's not necessary, but No, I don't mind taking the extra 5 minutes to making it look good.
Sorry. I'm stuck. Pull me up. Nah, see? It's too wet.
How about your boot?
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Excellent. Looking good. Nice. You guys are flying along. Cleaned up. We'll get rid of the TV, the couch, everything else. Go right through the place, okay?
All right, man.
I have so had it with this house. It's a circus here today. There's people everywhere. There's stuff all over the floor. We should really be cautious about tripping hazards here. I'm gonna have Gary and Brian remove this duct line here so I can get this wall in. Dan's continuing the ventilation, air behind water, which is very important. He's gonna tie it in. We're gonna come up through the top plate here, shoot it right across on the back wall, and then we're gonna go up through that closet upstairs that we cut a hole, maneuver it, and get it out through the roof. Obviously with a ton of repairs. Upstairs, we're gonna cut a big hole in behind the fridge. We're gonna attach the pipe to the wall so we can release it here and tie into our 3-inch, which is 4-inch in through the floor. But just the opportunity to come down here and see it's so open. Office on that side. And now the rec room, right? They come around the corner. Too bad of this, but it's not that bad. I'm 6 feet, so this is just anybody over 6 feet's in trouble. Come into here, we can see where the wall's going to be. The wall's gonna come right across, hide that column in there, and this creates a nice little alcove entertainment unit. By the end of this, it's gonna be really nice. I think the homeowners are gonna be freaked right out when they walk downstairs and realize, wow, our basement's huge. I am on the opposite side of the crown. Here's the crown and the lumber. We always choose as straight as possible lumber that we can get. So I want my crown on the other side so I can level the uncrowned side. Now, if you stand right over there, you're gonna see I have a minor crack right here. That's because the crown's on this side. A good way to show it is I'll shine my flashlight through it. If I have my 6-foot level centered in between the stud and I level it, I'm on the money, as accurate as possible for being true. It means the wall is almost 100% level.
Nice.
Joe just called me over to take a look at how he was going to rewire, which we're assuming is the gas fireplace upstairs. And we're going to also assume that it runs on a fan, which we don't know yet. So he cuts his line. He notices that we have a line running in the chimney. Well, look up above that. What else do we have in there? We have a gas line that feeds the fireplace upstairs. So all we got to do is pop off the old doors here, the old clean-out doors here. This electrical line right here runs right up through the chimney. What did we find walking through this house? Visibly, that was right in front of us. The electrical was right in front of us. The plumbing was right in front of us, which says somebody's worked on this house that doesn't know what they're doing, and you may have issues down the road. This is an extreme issue. We're talking off gases from the furnace here, so that's probably and more than likely coming back into the house through the holes. Electrical running up there with major heat off the furnace, it's not allowed. Gas, electrical, absolutely not allowed. Was totally missed by the inspector on this job. You should have caught it. Go to the chimney. What's this electrical line? Geez, that appears to be going through the chimney. What's this gas line? That appears to be going through the chimney. What the hell? They're gonna use this for a fresh air intake to the fireplace. No. This was a wood burning. That's why. What did we just do? We went on the outside. We took off a cap. We find it's a fresh air intake for the old wood burning fireplace. We cannot see where the gas line is, where the electrical line is. But I did take a mirror and look up the chimney, which the furnace and the hot water heater's hooked up to, and I'm looking up and I see an electrical line in there. It's not allowed in there. Where's the gas line going? How the hell did they run that line? Whoever looked at this house doesn't know what they're doing. Who's responsible at the end? The homeowner. Go figure. We'll temporarily put this back on. Let's just go check. Let's see if we can pull it out. Oh, come give me a break, please. Okay, the good thing is that we are disconnecting the furnace, the hot water heater. There is going to be no more off gases, but we do have to determine that electrical point and the gas line. Right now, it's off. We'll get to it. There's kids in this house. That should have been caught. Does anybody ever get a feeling that there might be something in the ground here?
I'm just wondering if we should, like, maybe go fishing.
Well, how about we just open it up a little bit and find out exactly what it is?
Sure. That's disgusting. That's the return air?
That's the return air. So that's all that stuff was floating in the air.
Out of sight, out of mind, right?
Yep.
Now, for the sump pump, minimum code requirement states we can hang out 1.5 inch line 8 inches outside, so it drips right back into the foundation. Let's take it out to a dry pit away from the home that's gonna hold the water away from the foundation.
People don't know about dry well systems. Actually, it's very old technology. They've used dry wells used for hundreds of years. When everybody used to have cistern systems, they used to collect all the rainwater, and they would use whatever water they could for around the house, feeding the animals.
Now, go figure. We did this hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
And we don't do it anymore.
No, it works well, Mike. Boy, we've used these very successful for years.
Well, it sure
once
beats running it
they're-
outside the house and putting it right back in the foundation again.
Well, yeah, and it is a problem when you're doing additions and that, and the city does require a sump box installation. That is the problem.
Why is it not minimum code to bring it away from the house? Now it's minimum code to pull your downspouts out. It's within code anyways, no longer in the weeping system. So if we're trying to divert all the water away from the house, why did they make the code that you can drop the sump pump right outside of the foundation
Well, I'm
wall?
not exactly sure, but for some reason, the building department stops short of putting in a sump box. They won't tell you where to exhaust it to, or how to exhaust it, or anything. That information is just not available from them. We're going about 24 inches deep here for the exhaust line.
Okay. We're gonna be approximately 40 feet away, eh? Run through.
Yep.
I see you've already pulled up the stone. 2 feet down, and all I've got to do is go inside and access that. And I'll wait till we dug down so we get that direct run. I don't want to put it in too deep. I wait for you, and I'll re-drill this.
Well, like I said, we'll be coming out of that wall about 2 feet below grade, 24 inches below grade.
Okay.
We're just recovering the Freon from the air conditioning right now. We're going to be replacing the furnace, so we need to change the coil that's in the air conditioning. So right now I just got my recovery machine hooked up with my tank, which is hooked to the air conditioning, so we'll be taking the gas out. The reason you want to recover the Freon is it's against the law right now to just cut the lines and let it out to the atmosphere. You know, it's going to ruin our ozone layer. So recover, do it by code, do it by law, and you have no problem. This is 5-PEX Aqua plastic polyethylene pipe. Has 3 layers, an internal layer, then there's an aluminum coating, and an exterior layer. Interior and exterior layers are polyethylene. It's guaranteed for 25 years. Very easy to install, and will outlast copper. These fittings, because they're 3/8 inside, some inspectors don't like that. Myself, after installing and seeing the actual results, even when I used a lot of fittings on this product, you still get better flow. Just because you're not using 90s. The 90s on copper pipe restrict the flow more than anything. So you want the water to get from your valve coming in the house to your fixtures with the least resistance as possible.
The guys found a hole in the ground here, and this is really interesting. I've never in my life seen it. This appears to be an old dry well where water goes into. It is massive. It is so big. It is brick, and it's the same brick as the house, so it was done at the same time. It is about this big. You're at the bottom? Okay, so that's rock there, right? Wow.
It's a freshwater containment unit of some kind. It has nothing to do with the sanitary or the drains or anything like that.
What's that?
That was probably a breather vent that came up to here.
Is that ever interesting? See how they built the brick up and created it staggered into the top for the opening?
Yep. What this is an old cistern system. The elevation of this line here probably used to take all the rainwater that would come off the structure, and it would go here. When it filled up, it would flow out into that ditch on the outside. Now, they might have even been using this water for gardening, that type of thing around the house before all the infrastructure was done in the streets, and they filled up all the ditches and put in all the proper sanitary drains, everything like that.
This line that comes up here, I'll put my money on it. There was a pump here.
Oh, absolutely.
And they would pump the water
Absolutely.
to use this water.
Yep, they would use this around the yard, and back when they built these houses after the war and that, there would be no way that they would use tap water for watering the gardens or anything like that. They would have still been using the same old technology of well water. If we can collect it and use it, let's use it.
I can't believe
That's exactly
how
what
well
this
it
was
is
for.
preserved.
Amazing, eh? Try to lay it in pieces if we can, not all in one big pile. Yeah. If you want to put in a layer of concrete and then a layer of dirt, layer of concrete, layer of dirt, just so we don't get any big flooding. We're going to dig up down here. We're going to prime the wall, patch it, put the drainage board, the rubberized membrane, everything on the wall, because there is a crack in the wall from prior frost damage.
First thing we do is we clean down the wall after we've excavated the area. And then we put our first layer of primer on, which is a bonding agent for the tar. And then once it's dry and sticky, we put our tar on. And then after the first coat of tar, which is usually an 1/8 to an inch thick, we put the first layer of mesh, which is this. And then after the mesh, we put another layer of tar. And then after the next layer of tar, we put another layer of, or a layer of plastic to hold everything in. And then after the plastic is on, we just go ahead and put our drainage board on and our top straps and seal it all off.
I want all the water that we're going to catch from the sump box and the drain system from the weeping tile and everything, I want it to be able to dissipate into the earth. Basically what we're going to do is fill this pit up to about within 1 foot of finished grade. And we're going to fold that cloth over top of the gravel bed, and then we can put our topsoil and grass seed back on top.
And we have a clean containment. I like that. Perfect.
Who would have thought buying a house would cause so much problems?
This job is becoming extremely a pain in my butt.
We're just taking out the old air conditioning right now. We're going to be replacing it with a new one. But unfortunately today, it seems like it's raining a little bit. So we're going to have to come back and install the new one another day. You don't want to install air conditioning when it's raining out. You don't want to open up the system and get any type of moisture in the system. And that's a contaminant that can get into your compressor. And you don't want to get any type of moisture contaminants in your compressor. It's just going to kill the life of the unit. So we're just going to get this one out for today and put the new one in place. And we'll be back probably tomorrow to get the new one installed.
We've got the whole place rewired. Yeah, we have all our heating runs done. The guy's got the furnace in, the Northwood guy's got the furnace in. Joe's wired the whole house in a matter of a week. This is really running along. We've got it insulated. We're ready for drywall. We can cut the next one in 94.
Just installing this tankless hot water heater. I'm just soldering up the last couple of connections.
What this does is replaces your big holding tank gallon hot water heater. With the big tanks you see, the big hot water tanks you see, that water in that big tank has to be constantly heated and then cooled, heated then cooled. And even if you're away on vacation or something, so you're saving a lot of gas like this. Anytime you turn a tap on above, say in the laundry tub or your kitchen, that's the only time you'll just use as much gas as you need to heat that water that you're using. The cold water comes in here and goes through this coil here, and it heats up this section so that the water coming out in the hot pipe will reach 120 to 120 degrees Fahrenheit instantaneously. It's an instant hot water heater, saving on gas, more efficient. I think in 20 years, you're gonna see this in every home.
Looking good, lots of work. Damon had to do a self-leveling in here because he's a perfectionist. That's why I have him. He's a good guy. He's making sure that we have a nice level floor for the tile. The idea is to put in a nice, just a simple cabinet here with a sink. We will have an access in the bottom of the cabinet to get to the clean out, and it'll be right on it, clean out. Also made sure we put up curtain around the tub. The tub is in place. It's all leveled. It's looking really good. And lucky enough, we were able to get this unit, the exhaust fan, within the tub area, and it is safe. It's allowed, electrically allowed. And think about it, you know, it's going to pick up the fumes or the moisture immediately and fire it out. The problem we have, obviously, is the height of this bulkhead here. Something I don't like. That's why I did not raise the floor. Normally, I would put a 1-inch foam, rigid foam on the floor, and then plywood. But even I'm 6 feet, and I'm hitting it, so it's just under. Obviously, the door's tight to the laundry room. It's looking good. We've got the hot water heater in, instant hot water heater. Wasn't a lot of changes in the ductwork, but just making sure we run heat and return where necessary in the basement. You can see the openness as you come downstairs. Now it's open, right? This will be the office. We have an open area here, which allows it bigger. Even though it's a shorter ceiling, the idea is that it's just more room. Then you come and step into here. Sal.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, buddy? You're doing a really good job, man.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure to meet you. We're gonna trim it?
Yeah, we're gonna trim it. We started out trimming it tight, but then the bulk, it ended up here. We went as tight as possible. Adam went as tight as possible, so we had no choice. So I then framed off that.
Okay, spray foam that.
Yeah, for sure.
Spray foam everything in there before that's trimmed.
Okay.
See the way this stands out? It looks ugly, right? And it's the same way as doing a bulk here without continuing and trying to create some sort of feature. Sure, it would have been empty space. We might have been able to put a pod light in it or something, but always keep this in mind that when you're going to do bulks, visually, how's it going to look? I want you to extend this bulkhead.
Okay.
I can't. It's going to drive me insane.
That's all right.
So pop the corner bead, extend the bulkhead, do it as quick as you can so Sal can get a coat of plaster on it. Lose this.
Okay.
And now what we're going to do is we're going to wainscot this wall. Then a chair rail. We'll put an access panel in there, and you won't see it. It'll give an effect on this wall.
Yeah.
And it solves our problem.
That'll look great.
Why do we have this? That is that piece of
Duct.
ductwork, right?
Duct, we had no choice.
Okay, and what I want you to do then is get some wood, and I want you to extend it right across.
Sure.
Okay?
Okay.
Same thing as the other side.
Okay.
Let's do the brick pattern on the floor this way,
Okay.
and the brick pattern on the wall this way.
Okay, you're okay with that. Okay, good. That's what I was going to ask you about, because if we do it this way, do you want them running up this way at that point, or?
And make sure, you know, just because of all your aesthetics here, just bring it out probably about to here, straight down the top, okay? Don't have a little piece, give us a nice piece.
Okay.
Basements are scary places. Now I know why the kids don't want to come down here.
So I got my center line mat. I'm just gonna, we figured out our pattern. Gonna come off our center line. I think that's gonna be the best way. The first one, I always like doing this. I center the first tile on that line. And then on the top one, we're gonna stagger it. So I'm gonna come off that line, and then I have a line to go to there. Once we level this, you can fly on this. Okay, so the first course is always your most important.
It's looking good. You're using the power roller?
Yeah.
Man, you gotta love that sprayer, right?
Definitely.
Are we gonna paint this too?
We're gonna paint that. It's naughty pine, so I'm gonna prime it with an alcohol-based
or shellac-based primer, just to seal those knots so they don't bleed through.
You're a smart man.
Can't use latex on it.
That's why you're here. We can paint it and paint it and paint it, and the knots will keep bleeding through, right?
Exactly.
So seal it with a shellac, or you add the shellac?
No, shellac-based primer.
Shellac-based primer. I will remember that. I
It
didn't know that.
stinks, but it dries in 30 minutes and levels really nicely and seals the knots.
Nice.
We're installing the HEPA filter. It's to filtrate the air throughout the house. It'll go into a big canister type filter, and that way it'll catch all the contaminants in the air. It's good for if you got allergies or for kids that do have allergies, hay fever. It cleans all the contaminants in the air.
A lot of people, they surge protect their TVs, surge protect their computers. What about your furnace, your fridge, your AC?
Your microwave, your telephone, your answering machine.
Everything else.
I know, because my home got zapped by lightning.
Exactly.
Fried everything.
The surge protector here goes in and we protect everything. So imagine now that TV, you still keep your surge protector on it. That computer, still keep your surge protector on it. Now you got double protection.
Now, if this does get fried, say lightning strikes, and it does get fried, it fries this, must be replaced.
It fries this, yeah. It needs to be replaced. It'll trip your breaker.
Yep.
Then again, you can also see it's got a little light here.
Yeah.
Then when it's working properly, it will be lit.
Okay, so for approximately just under $500 installed,
Yep.
you're protecting the whole house.
Yeah, instead of going out buying a new fridge, a new furnace.
Well, when lightning hit my house, it was $10,000.
Exactly. 500, 10,000.
Fried my furnace, I mean everything. I was stunned. Microwave, telephone, you name it, it fried it.
It just fried it. We're protected now.
Just like that. Already flying, these guys don't mess around. Fit it first, pull it up, put down the underpad, and that makes sense so you don't ruin it. All the stuff that was in the office, get it back in the office. The office is done and clean. Move everything in there, clean up this living room. Let's get the desk back downstairs. Are we ready for that to get the TV on it?
Yeah.
So like split up, who's gonna do the TV? Get the TV down so it's safe so nobody hits it. Hold off on the couches, we'll do that last, but let's get the desk set up with the TV and everything else and everything out of here so we can get this knocked off, get the cleaners done in here, and we're almost done. Let's do it, please, thank you. How many guys you got in here today?
Well, we're 3 in one room right now. We have about 6 here today. We're just trying to work wherever we can. Yeah.
So let's see, we have cleaners in, we have painters in, electricians,
Yeah.
HVAC, all our guys, and I mean all our guys.
Yeah.
I guess you can see it, but I've already noticed you've done the dining room. Great. We're gonna
Great.
try immensely to get guys upstairs, start finishing upstairs so you two can go up there and we'll work our way down
Great.
and out of this
No problem.
house.
Sure.
We're almost there. No sweat. I know we can do it. 2 hours. I guarantee it. Look, they didn't even clean the frickin' thing before they put in the new unit. No wonder, eh? They didn't even clean the chimney, I can tell.
And this is all open here.
Oh my God.
So they must have had carbon monoxide or something in here.
Oh my God, I guess they did.
Because when you look down inside from where the pipe is, it's in this same cavity.
So you're saying all exhaust from the hot water heater and the
Some of it must have been coming in
furnace
here.
was exhausting you in the home?
Yeah.
Not good.
Very good.
We're just drilling the hole to run the half-inch gas line in. And we'll be running a solid pipe from inside here all the way down to the basement, and then we'll be running a flex connector from that solid pipe to the fireplace. We're just putting some soap solution on just to make sure that none of these joints have any leaks. Now, if there is any leaks, you'll see them bubble up. It'll be, quite a bit of bubbles inside, so everything looks good. Looks like we got no bubbles, and like they say, no bubbles, no troubles.
No bubbles, no troubles.
It has been a long, long day. Tried to finish by 7:30. It's now 11:45. It It's just the way it is. Good work takes what it takes. Okay. Let's bring them home. That's enough. The day's done. It's early, right?
Yeah. It's
Come
early,
on,
yeah.
come back home.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, visually.
That's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It is?
Yes. It's gorgeous.
Well, it's a good thing you hired an inspector, let me tell you. Because let me tell you what I found.
We know we need and want a home inspection on all the homes we buy because we're looking for a professional opinion to state, is the home good enough to buy? Is there any problems with it? The whole point to it, or idea is that you have something to negotiate with for buying power.
And let me say, I don't even know where to start anymore because there was just so much involved here, okay? Let's talk about the electrical in the kitchen alone. Your fridge was tied into absolutely everything. Your receptacles were tied into everything. There was illegal junctions in the walls upstairs. The more we started breaking, imagine how much damage we did to the inside of your home. It was a lot. And what we could do was try and preserve everything and not make it that dirty.
If it's gonna cost 50 grand to fix something, you're gonna wanna know that ahead of time so you can deal with the other homeowners to say whether or not you want the home.
The last minute, we pulled out that fireplace because the gas line was running through the chimney, the electrical was running through the chimney, and it was open zone behind that fireplace, which means the off gases from the furnace and the off gases from the hot water heater were coming up into your home, and you didn't even know it.
Oh my goodness.
We did over $100,000 worth of work. That could have been negotiating power to the homeowner.
The bathroom upstairs was really taken apart. The sink was pulled, the plumbing was replaced, the heating was replaced, the electrical was replaced. We've cut you now an access to your attic up in the main hallway. So we could fish wires all the way through everything and come down without damaging ceilings was my biggest point, not to touch your plaster.
Now, not only would it be good to know that they could have saved $100,000 on the home, it would have been good to know moving in with 2 little kids that the home was an extreme fire hazard.
Well, unfortunately, we ruined your carpet, so we had to get you new carpet.
Is this the same basement?
No.
Oh, no, my goodness.
This is incredible.
This is the bathroom.
Yeah, this is where.
Yeah, this was your bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to me, we totally changed the design. Oh my God. Again, the electricians were so good. Everything was pulled. All your telephones were rerun, all your cable was rerun, a brand new panel. Let's take a look. With an extra added bonus, you have a surge protector to the whole house.
Wow.
Okay, this means, now it doesn't mean you shouldn't use surge protection bars, you still should, but this is a double whammy. This will protect your furnace, your garage door opener, your anything, right? Even though you don't have a garage door opener. Again, everything ripped down. We have proper insulation in behind it. We have 2-inch foam on the walls. This way we don't have any vapor barrier and a worry of electrical fire.
It doesn't take a rocket science to see things that are in front of your eyes. If we see improper plumbing from the beginning, little electrical things, a couple of minor issues, odds are you're gonna see something behind the wall.
Wonderful.
They put it in the tub, awesome.
Oh, it's
Well,
wonderful.
That's great. Very nice.
And
Very nice.
Now I don't think you're gonna smell anything like bad fumes or anything like that. And you know what? It actually drains.
Yay.
Point being, you want a professional to tell you somebody's messed with the house, it looks like they don't know what they're doing, trace back for permits. It's obvious there's not one permit in that whole house, because nothing would have passed. That means no permits. It was done by someone who's not licensed.
I brought in a drain specialist who scoped all the drains in the basement so we could determine how they were run and everything we were going to do. We end up breaking up your floor all the way around the house, pulling out the existing weeping drains, pulling out all the drains in the floor, all new weepers. A new sump pump is in the new furnace room. Let's see, what else, my goodness, did I find? Let's take a look at the furnace room. I mean, this is nothing fancy. It's your new utility room. So we have rerouted everything. As a matter of fact, it's the new furnace.
Wow.
It's now tied in with a beautiful HEPA air filter system and air cleaning system. all new, high efficiency. So now we no longer are using your chimney. So everything is fresh air from outside, exhausted outside without using the chimney. It's now safe. All new gas lines run. We have an instant tankless hot water system in your home. What you have to do, so you understand how these work, you cannot trickle your hot water. You have to open it. It must hit 2.5 gallons per minute to fire. Let me tell you a little story about the sump pump here. So the sump pump's in, we ran everything, we passed everything. Minimum code requirement states that we pump that sump pump 8 inches out of the wall. So, as soon as we did that, it started pumping, and we got water come in your basement.
Oh.
John McRae come in, and they dug that whole corner, watertight the wall, and then we trenched a new line to a dry well, or a dry pit, which is 4 times the size of the sump pit. And on our way of trenching that line, we found an old-fashioned well right in front of your house.
Wow.
Unbelievable. It had to be 6 feet in diameter, at least 6 feet deep, and it was for fresh water. And there was actually, years ago, a pump in front of your home.
Incredible.
Yes, which means you have a septic tank in the backyard somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yes. I think we covered everything in one home that could possibly go wrong. You picked it. Electrical that should have burnt the house down. As a matter of fact, we found burnt wires that were already charring, and the possibilities of the fire happening were huge. Off gases coming back into your house, mold, carpenter ants that were going to continue to grow. As a matter of fact, the specialist that I brought in for removing these bugs said, "Did you see the ants with wings?" Well, as a matter of fact, I saw about at least 100 of them with wings. He says that means they've been here a long time.
He doesn't stop, right? He takes care of everything, and that's what's wonderful about it. And it's safe and comfortable like a home should be.
We've given you everything we could give you that we should give you if it was my home, without taking it down and building a new one.
Incredible. But it looked so good, Mike, remember? It didn't look bad, you're right. But upon further inspection, like, because a person like me would look around and say, it looks normal, right? That's why you pay somebody to tell you if it's good or bad.
Well, welcome to my world of illusions.
Yeah.
What looks good doesn't mean it is.
Was all of it necessary? Yes. The furnace was almost gone. The electrical should have burnt the house down. The plumbing, that was obvious.
It's not worth it. Not a home inspection. I'd certainly call tradespeople in, like electricians and plumbers and a good general contractor to look at the house and give you their opinion, because the home inspector that we had didn't find any of these issues. And it's, it's sad.
Thanks. And one from him.
Yeah, because I don't want to.
Yeah, no.
If you don't mind.
We're never moving.
Yeah. No.
Unless Mike starts building homes.
Yeah, and then we'll buy one of those.
Then we'll buy one of his.
Feeling groovy. Adam, awesome job. Let me tell you. Brand, my God, we got everybody. Damon.
Thanks, buddy.
Sir Matt, co-op student. Thank you. Shawnee.
You bet, buddy.
As usual. Micah. Gogi.
Hey.
Pinky. For your first basement.
Thank you, brother.
You've received an A+, man.
Thank you very much.
Good job. Good job. To everyone, have a good night. Drive safe.
See you guys.